Every year as Christmas gets closer, I feel this pull towards simple, heartfelt gifting, away from the pressure of buying more and towards making things that actually feel personal. I love putting together homemade Christmas baskets because they reduce the noise of consumerism, but they also still offer something useful, thoughtful, and made with care. I'm not talking about bath salts or trendy DIYs that end up staying on a shelf, just truly practical, everyday items that someone will enjoy and use. So today I'm going to get started on a few components of my Christmas baskets, and I'm excited to bring you along. If you've been wanting to give more intentionally this year, I hope this gives you some ideas and a cozy little dose of inspiration. Okay, so we are getting started making some homemade pumpkin butter. I like to include some kind of component that can be eaten but doesn't have to be eaten right away like Christmas candy or Christmas cookies would. So pumpkin butter is a great option. I'm also going to be making Christmas jam later this year to include in my Christmas baskets. But I decided to go ahead and roast up the pumpkins that were sitting on my porch. All of fall, my mom got these for me and they have been looking so cute on my porch, but now everything outside is decorated for Christmas. It's a super economical way to make pumpkin butter because otherwise these pumpkins would just probably rot on my porch and then get put in the trash. So if you've never tried this before, it's really simple. I brought mine in and decided to give them a scrub just because they still had a lot of dirt on them from when they came in from the pumpkin patch. Then I preheated my oven to 400 degrees, cut them up into wedges, and roasted them. I just kept an eye on it. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe they were roasting for 40 minutes to an hour, but I would just keep checking on them and seeing when they were soft. You want them to be the texture of what a sweet potato would be in if you baked it on the inside. That's when you know, and it's a lot easier to pull the skin away when they're roasted fully. So I ended up doing 2 pumpkins, and all of the pumpkin from that I put into a bowl and then used my immersion blender to blend it until it was smooth. You could definitely do this in a regular blender as well, but I don't have one big enough. So the immersion blender was a perfect tool for this. I ended up with probably about a gallon, if not more, maybe more than a gallon of pumpkin puree, which is a ridiculous amount. So I made a triple batch of pumpkin butter. When it comes to my homemade Christmas baskets, there's usually an item that I give everyone across the board, and then I will mix and match other items. Some people get more, some people get less, just depending on what I think they would enjoy, or if I've happened to pick them up any other little items along the way. What I didn't use to make pumpkin butter, I just went ahead and bagged up into different portions and froze. I did 2 15-ounce bags, so that's equal to 2 cans of pumpkin. And I also set some aside to make Thanksgiving desserts with. Now, everything I read said that pumpkin is not a good option to be home canning with. Something about the acidity isn't high enough or low enough. I'm not super savvy with canning, so I'm not entirely sure what that means. I just know that the acidity has to be to a certain level, otherwise you are at a higher risk for botulism. I'm not sure. I would definitely have to do some more research, but with the capacity I had this week putting this stuff together, I just figured I could freeze it all and deal with it later. So I came up with the idea to do these homemade Christmas baskets last year. I got so fed up with the overconsumption and all of the consumerism around Christmas. I got annoyed with the gifts that you have to buy out of obligation and how they're so impersonal, how a lot of times you end up giving other adults gift cards because either they already have everything they could possibly want or they're super hard to buy for. But I knew that if I was going to make homemade Christmas gifts, I wanted to make sure that they were things that were going to get used and they were things that would be enjoyed by others. As I am labeling up this pumpkin butter to give away to a friend, I make sure that I just label it well, and when I give it to them, I'm going to include instructions on how long it's good for and what kind of things it tastes good with. Most of my friends will be receiving a basket also with a fresh baked loaf of sourdough bread, so they can enjoy it together like that. Another fun component I like to add into the gifts is something handmade but also useful. So I decided this year to try my hand at making some little toboggans. My son is almost 9 months old and it's getting cold here, and I've been needing to get him a little toboggan to wear as we go on walks. So I thought I might as well go through my yarn stash, because I have way too much yarn, and learn how to crochet him a hat. I am more of an avid knitter, I'd say, than a crocheter, but in the past 2 years I've taught myself how to do both. And I will say that crochet is a lot faster. So I found a free tutorial online and I got started making this hat, and I was absolutely shocked how fast this went. Now, I know if some of you have been crocheting for years, you're gonna, I don't know, maybe my technique's not good, because like I said, YouTube taught me how to do this and it was slow at first, but as soon as I got the hang of it, I was kind of like, wait, am I addicted to crocheting now? Because I made this hat in 2 nights. And it was so fast, I actually decided to make one for my niece as well. And so I got to work doing that, and made it also in, like, I think I made it in a day and a half. And then I had to teach myself how to make pom-poms, but that actually turned out a lot faster than I thought. So if you are even a beginner in crochet, I think you would definitely have time to bust out some hats. Another really easy one is pot holders. So those are my favorite kind of quick things to make, but my son looks so cute in his, and I can't wait to give my niece her pink one as well. And I think I'm gonna have to find an excuse to make a few more of these before Christmas comes, because they're so easy, so fast, so effective. Definitely something that is useful. It stretches so that it can grow with them as time goes on. I have also been knitting a lot of baby blankets, but they take a long time. I don't know if I could get one done before Christmas, but if I planned ahead, maybe next year I can also be making some people like some blankets. I'd love to learn how to knit more garments like mittens and sweaters, so I'm going to have to get started on that early for next year. But these little crochet hats are such a fun little gift, and when you put them on a baby, they just look automatically so much cuter. The last thing I want to share is back by popular demand from my Christmas baskets last year. It is homemade beeswax candles. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. A lot of the things that I include in my Christmas baskets are things that I want to make for my home anyway, so I just make them in large batches and give them to my friends. I don't know if that's terrible, but I also think a lot of them also wanted these things, and they didn't want to make them. So I think it works out. But I've been thrifting some little teacups, some glassware, and other goodies to use as candle holders this year. Last year I just bought some jars off Amazon, but this year I wanted them to be a little more unique. I also thought if you had a lot of wax, you could do something like a thrifted Christmas tin would make a really pretty giant candle. But beeswax candles are all natural. They naturally purify the air, so if you have like your kitchen's kind of stinky, you can light a beeswax candle, and even if they don't have a fragrance to them, they can help purify the air. But they also are scented with essential oil, so they don't have any harmful artificial fragrances in them. So that makes, if I have a friend who has asthma or a friend who's allergic to synthetic fragrances, or they have allergies, these candles can still be enjoyed by them. And once they have burned the candle, they can take the wax out and then use the little cup or glass just for drinking out of or for decoration. So it really works out. If you're looking for more ideas on homemade Christmas gifts that you can make this year for your friends and family, then go over to my Substack. I have a free post with dozens of ideas for you can check out and get started on making these little gifts. You still got plenty of time until Christmas to make something that is more practical and economical and personal than something like a gift card. I'm definitely going to be sharing more of my homemade Christmas gifts as the month of December carries on. Be sure to subscribe here and get more content like this. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.